Live from Wave in Louisville, Kentucky. This is Listens Live.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you, and thanks for joining us here on Wave Listens Live. I'm your host, Brian Schlonsky. It is Monday. We hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend. We are kicking off the work week with an excellent show today as we take you right to the rundown now and show you who you can expect on our show. Louisville Parks and Recreation, they are back. We'll discuss the upcoming Arts in the Park event. We've also got the Bedrock Group coming up talking all about their senior solutions in Medicare. But up first here today, we've got the Exum Group at Keller Williams, Louisville East. There are a couple guests here in studio with us today, and we also have a lot to discuss when it comes to some very exciting events. So, without further ado, let's jump into this first segment. You know Amanda Russo, Senior Real Estate Specialist and Realtor for Exum Group, Keller Williams, Louisville East. And I'll let you do some of the introductions of the other folks who are here with us today who our viewers have met in the past.
All right, thank you. Yes, I think they have been here recently. Yeah. So we were excited to bring them back on. We have Kathy Quaife. She is the Community Relations Director over at the Everlawn of Louisville. And then Cindy Bush, who is the owner of Simply Shift, who she just opened up here in the market. And we are super excited to have them both on today.
Why did you decide today's kind of a good time to be able to talk about some of the expertise that they both bring to this field?
Absolutely. So for me, a lot of the transitions that I'm seeing are people that are moving into a senior living community. So they are deciding whether by choice or there is a health concern that we need to move into a community. So these two types of community professionals are very integral in these transitions. So Kathy, being a part of one of our communities here in Louisville, they have 4 levels of care that you can actually look into if it's something that you're considering. And then people always get stressed out about what to do with those lovely items in the home that accumulate over the years, and Cindy is one of our great solutions to that problem. Yeah. So they are a big piece of these transitions.
You help people find what's actually lovely items in the home and maybe sift through some of the things that we don't need. Okay, well, let's start with Kathy though, because we want to talk on that topic of making a transition into a senior living community and what some of the considerations should be if somebody's at that point.
Well, it really is a matter of deciding what level of care you're wanting. A lot of people, if they would just make the decision before the decision has to be made for them, there's a lot more freedom and flexibility and choice in where you're going to end up. So with Everlawn of Louisville, we are an independent living community, and we give people that opportunity to still live independently, but also build a community within a building. We refer to it as a community because it's homey and it makes everybody feel welcome, but there really is a definition behind that, in that the community is what you make it. So you need to make sure that you're choosing those people that are going to be able to bring those things to your life that you're looking for. So if you want somebody that's going to do housekeeping, or if you need somebody to do medication management, those are 2 different options. So really figuring out what level of care your loved one is at is the most important thing to do.
It's kind of nice too if you mentioned have these conversations earlier, then you're already going to, it can be an exciting time.
Exactly.
And not something that's full of high stress and oh no, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. Okay, speaking of some of that maybe pre-planning, we can call it. Cindy, we discussed kind of the stuff a little bit already. What's the best way to sort through that, and how do we make sure we're choosing the right items that we need for this next phase of life?
Sure. So I try to make it fun because oftentimes it's overwhelming for the families and the clients that I work with. So being able to sort through, I always ask them, how much happiness does this bring on a scale of 1 to 10? If it doesn't pass the happiness test, then most likely we'll try to let go of it, whether that's giving to friends or family, donating to charities that are throughout Louisville. We're not just throwing things away. So they've accumulated a lot of things over the years, but I want them to go to the next place they call home and be able to pick the things that are most meaningful to the clients and let go of the rest.
Kind of helps to have somebody there guiding you along the way, because of course, as you mentioned, this can be a tough task. Okay, Amanda, we know that you and the team specialize in these senior transitions and downsizing. So let's talk about on the real estate side of things, those important things to consider.
Yeah, so there's lots of things to consider when you're a senior or have a senior in your family that are transitioning. And the biggest thing, and I've said it many times on this segment is this is not a transaction. There's so many other pieces that are involved in this, and a lot of it, I think, especially when you're talking about going into community, is being financially responsible with this equity that we have in these homes. So generally, the home is going to be the biggest asset that they have, and we want to make sure that we're deep diving into what levels of care do they need, because as we progress and move throughout these communities, it becomes more expensive, and we need to make sure that we're accounting for that and we're planning for that for the future. So we talk about, do we need to make improvements for the home? Is that necessary, or do we need to sell it as is? You know, are we saving every penny that we have to put forth to move into a community such as Kathy's, and that way they can live there for the foreseeable future? So really doing these deep dives into this conversation and talking about what this big piece of equity and, you know, usually their largest asset can do for them. And then when the home closes, we're not just putting that money in a shoebox and putting it under the bed. You know, we're actually going to do something with it where it will grow and continue to work for them so that they can enjoy these places like this.
One way that you guys get the word out about all the important work that you do are events and community fundraisers. You have all kinds of stuff that it's always going on, and y'all are working together on one.
We are.
Right now.
So we have an event coming up. It's July the 25th, and it is a bigger deep dive into this conversation that we're having right now. So it is called Cocktails and Conversations. There's the thing for it. So July 25th, it is going to be at the Everlawn and Dominion campus. So that address is 6000 Hunting Road. It's going to start at 5:30. We're going to have some cocktails and some general just networking and conversation throughout. You get to tour these two beautiful buildings that are on this campus. And then Cindy and then, of course, Jackie and I are going to talk about the pieces that go along with these transitions.
Mm-hmm. All the work that the three of you do is so important. I know that people need it right now in our community. This is a great place to have that conversation. We've got less than a minute left, and I'll start with you, Amanda. I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to know how to get in touch with all three of you to take advantage of these services.
Yeah, so we are obviously going to offer a free consultation. If anybody needs our services, they can please reach out to us at 502-225-3303.
And you can reach me at Kathy Quaife, 502-777-9930, and I'm with Everlawn of Louisville and Dominion Senior Living.
And again, I'm Cindy Bush with Simply Shift, and my phone number, it's direct 502-314-7911.
Thank you, all three of you, for being here today, putting on events like the one we just discussed, and for being able to help seniors in our community go through this next phase, because I can imagine having three people like this helping you along that process. Totally different world than trying to go it alone.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Right.
Stay with us here on Wave Listens Live. Two more great segments to go. Louisville Parks and Rec coming back to talk about their upcoming Arts in the Park and National Parks and Recreation Month. It's coming up next.